Two towers, two countries, both worth billions, both left to die in the desert. One is now rising at one floor every 3 days. The other, being redesigned to be shorter than the Burj Khalifa. On purpose. For years, they were the world's most expensive ghosts, concrete skeletons that symbolized failed dreams and broken promises. But in 2026, something impossible is happening. They're both coming back to life. On one side, Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower, a 1-kilometer giant abandoned for 7 years, now surging back with a vengeance. On the other side, Dubai's Creek Tower, once designed to be the tallest structure on Earth at 1,300 meters, now being completely redesigned with a shocking new strategy. So here's the billion-dollar question. Will Dubai lose its crown forever, or is this the smartest gamble they've ever made? And why the hell would they deliberately build it shorter than the Burj Khalifa? Because this isn't just about buildings. It's about national pride, engineering limits, and two cities betting their futures on who can own the sky. Let's start with the comeback story everyone's talking about, Jeddah Tower. In December 2025, something remarkable happened. After being frozen since 2018, the tower quietly crossed 80 floors. But what shocked the construction world wasn't the number, it was the speed. The Saudi bin Laden Group returned to the site in January 2025 with a $2 billion contract and immediately started adding a new floor every 3 to 4 days. Think about that pace for a second. Every 72 hours, another floor. If this holds, the tower could hit 1,000 meters by August 2028, becoming the tallest structure ever built by humans. It's not just construction, it's a statement. Saudi Arabia is sending a message to the world. We're serious, and we're not stopping. Now let's flip to the other side. Dubai's Creek Tower story? Even more twisted. This project was supposed to be the death blow to anyone challenging Dubai's dominance. Designed by the legendary Santiago Calatrava, the original plan was a 1,300-meter tower inspired by a lily flower and a minaret. They broke ground in 2016, poured massive foundations by 2018, and then, silence. For 6 years, the site became a ghost town. Cranes disappeared. Workers left. The project was completely scrubbed from Emir's website. But just weeks ago, Emir's founder Mohammed Alabar dropped a bombshell at the Dubai International Project Management Forum. He announced the tender will be offered in 3 months. We've changed the design. And then came the confession that changed everything. After the Burj Khalifa, altitude alone is no longer enough. We focus on aesthetics. Wait, did Dubai just say height doesn't matter anymore? The city that built its entire global brand on world's tallest, biggest, most expensive, is now pivoting to beauty? This is either the smartest strategic retreat in modern architecture, or the most expensive midlife crisis in history. Let's break down the numbers, because the engineering here is absolutely insane. Jeddah Tower, designed to reach 1,007 meters with 167 floors, weighing an estimated 900,000 tons. About 50% of its concrete work is already complete. That's 250,000 cubic meters poured, pushing it past 300 meters. But here's the problem. At around 500 meters, pumping concrete becomes nearly impossible. The world record for concrete pumping is 621 meters. Beyond that, you need cranes and buckets. Slow, expensive, dangerous. So engineers had to get creative. They came up with a radical solution: ditch the concrete entirely for the top section and switch to steel. The upper 350 meters, the tower's spire, will be made from 80,000 tons of steel. That's like stacking 10 Eiffel Towers on top of each other. It's faster, lighter, and uninhabited, just technical equipment and a bold statement to the world. Now on the other side, Dubai Creek Tower was originally designed at 1,300 plus meters. But here's the twist. It wasn't technically a building. It was a cable-stayed tower, like a massive telecommunications mast wrapped in architecture. The cables would hold everything up, but in Dubai's brutal summer heat, those cables would expand and contract constantly, requiring endless tension adjustments. The engineering complexity was an absolute nightmare. The new design is rumored to be under 828 meters, shorter than Burj Khalifa. Instead of competing on height, they're betting on something riskier, making it unforgettable. Jeddah is building a record. Dubai is building a masterpiece, but building them, that's where the real battle begins. At 1,000 meters, Jeddah Tower faces a brutal enemy, wind. Wind forces at this height are 60 times stronger than on normal buildings. Simulations show the top could sway up to 2 meters during strong winds. Think about that. 2 meters of sway at 1,000 meters up. Would you go up there? But the tower's 3-petal shape was designed specifically to disrupt wind vortices before they can amplify the sway. It's not fighting the wind, it's absorbing it, bending just enough to stay safe. And the foundation, just as extreme, sitting on soft coastal soil near the Red Sea, engineers drove over 270 massive piles up to 110 meters deep, twice the depth of Burj Khalifa's foundation. They poured a 5-meter-thick reinforced concrete slab and used special high-performance concrete to resist saltwater corrosion for decades. Meanwhile, Creek Tower had its own engineering nightmare: cables. The original design relied on massive steel cables to support the entire structure. But in Dubai's heat, we're talking 50 degrees Celsius in summer. Metal cables constantly expand and contract. Can you imagine the stress on those cables? Keeping them stable would require constant monitoring, constant adjustments. One cable failure could be catastrophic. This is why the redesign happened. Dubai realized that fighting physics at this scale is extremely expensive. Jeddah is solving engineering problems with brute force. Dubai is changing the game entirely. The engineering is brutal, but the politics, even more complicated. These towers aren't just about engineering, they're about ego and economics. Jeddah Tower is the centerpiece of Saudi Vision 2030, a $20 billion project called Jeddah Economic City, symbolizing Saudi Arabia's future beyond oil. But it was halted in 2018 during a massive corruption crackdown that detained dozens of princes and officials. For 7 years, it sat frozen, seemingly impossible to complete. Its 2026 resurrection is as much a political statement as an architectural one. On the Dubai side, Creek Tower's death was quieter. COVID was the official excuse, but the truth? Market saturation. Dubai realized the world doesn't need another super tall office tower. There's already an oversupply of commercial space globally, so they're pivoting. The new Creek Tower will anchor Dubai Square Mall, a $180 billion development 3 times the size of downtown Dubai. It's not about height anymore. It's about creating an experience that drives spending and tourism. Building a tower requires more than engineers. It requires political will and deep pockets. Right now, Saudi has the will. Dubai has the wisdom, which brings us to the tech that makes this all possible. You can't live in a 1,000-meter tower without elevators, and at this height, elevators become engineering marvels. Jeddah Tower will have 59 elevators, including 5 double-deck models. They'll use Cohen ultra-rope technology, carbon fiber cables that are lighter, stronger, and more durable than steel. Each elevator will travel at over 36 kilometers/h, fast enough to be efficient but slow enough to keep passengers comfortable. The system uses 3 sky lobbies. No elevator goes straight from the ground to the top. You transfer at different levels, like switching trains in a subway system. How do you move 26 people per trip across 168 floors without making them sick? That's the challenge Cohen had to solve. Over in Dubai, Creek Tower's original design featured a light bolt, a glowing beacon visible for miles, and floating observation decks that would have been pure spectacle. The new design is still secret, but if they're focusing on aesthetics over pure height, expect something breathtaking. Maybe even magnetic levitation elevators or horizontal movement systems. Jeddah is betting on practicality and engineering power. Dubai is betting on beauty and experience. So who actually wins this battle? Winner of today, Jeddah Tower. No question, it's being built. Right now. 1 floor every 3 days. If the pace holds, it'll be the tallest structure on Earth by 2028. Winner of tomorrow. That's the real debate. Because Dubai isn't trying to win the height race anymore. They're trying to win something much harder: cultural legacy. Will tourists in 2035 care more about seeing the tallest building or the most beautiful one? Will investors value a record-breaking pole in the sky or a masterpiece that makes an entire district more valuable? Here's my final thought. Maybe the real question isn't who wins the sky. It's whether we even need buildings this tall in the first place. Are these billion-dollar towers solving real problems, or are they just extremely expensive trophies in a geopolitical chess match between 2 countries that refuse to lose? So here's my question for you. Team tallest or team smartest? Drop your vote in the comments below. I genuinely want to know what you think. And if this video hits 5,000 likes, I'll release my deep dive on Saudi's secret 2-kilometer Neom Tower project next week. A project so insane it makes these two look tame by comparison. If you want to follow these mega projects as they unfold in real time, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because one way or another, the sky is about to change forever.